Don't think Lamar Jackson's playing this upcoming weekend. Early signs are that he will not play in Cincinnati against the Bengals. John Harbaugh dismissed the idea that this was contract related. But Lamar has not played because of a sprained PCL in his knee since early December. Do I think the Ravens can win this game without Lamar Jackson? Slight chance, don't love it. Harbaugh's always going to be a really good playoff coach, has been for his entire career. The defense is still a solid Ravens defense. Clearly, they can still run the football. And so would I ever say there's no way the Ravens can win a playoff game? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would never say there's no chance. It's also a divisional rivalry, so plenty of familiarity. And in fact, this season, out of all of Joe Burrow's games, probably the two toughest games that he had to throw in was the two Ravens games. They do have a certain beat on him. They do have a certain number on Joe Burrow. But it's a big uphill battle to win this game without your star quarterback. And to have Snoop Huntley in there instead of Lamar Jackson, you know, you might for a moment watch the game and be like, oh, he plays just like Lamar Jackson. No, it ain't close. So I certainly heavily lean towards the Bengals winning this game and winning this game by more than a touchdown. The suggestion that Lamar is holding himself out due to contract frustrations bother John Harbaugh. And I understand why. But I'm here to tell you, I believe him. Now, this is not to cast aspersions on Lamar Jackson and suggest that he doesn't want to win. He's not a competitor. He doesn't care. He's totally selfish. Not saying that at all. But let's just track Lamar Jackson's timeline. Lamar came into the season looking for guaranteed money after Deshaun Watson got his guaranteed money from the Browns. And there was basically a fight over who gets Deshaun Watson. And the Browns had to guarantee every last cent, every dollar of Deshaun Watson's contract. Lamar wanted that. And Lamar said, I am more valuable. I've been an MVP. I haven't sat out a year. I've been a gamer. I'm good in the community. I'm good in the locker room. I deserve that contract. And he saw Deshaun get the number, and he saw Aaron Rodgers at 37 years old get the number. Then he saw Russell Wilson get the number. And he said, I deserve that contract. And he's his own agent. The Ravens are a tough nut to crack. They don't give out money easily. They're shrewd negotiators, always have been. And they weren't going to give him the full guarantee deal. And he was holding out for it. He had a number. They weren't going to get to that number. He entered the season. Is it going to hold out? Is it going to sit on the sideline? But is going to remember, obviously, what happened. When you negotiate for yourself, it is a massive, massive mental and emotional toll. You can save the 10%. You can go into those negotiations and save the 10% and feel like, hey, I can do better than my agent. Maybe. But you are forced face to face with the people that say you are not worth what you believe. I don't negotiate my contracts because I don't want to hear from my bosses that they don't believe that I'm worth what I think that I'm worth. Let the agent do that. You take the 10% so that I don't have to hear from the people that I work for that I'm not worth what I think I am. And that's how negotiations work. My agent takes a number to them. They give back a number that's lower than we want. We find a way to meet in the middle. That's the way every negotiation goes. You set high, they set low, you come into the middle. You set high, you ask for high, and they tell you either A, we don't have the money, or B, you're not that valuable, or C, a million other things. You don't get that number. Nobody ever asks for the number, and then the person goes, yeah, that's great. I think you're worth that. No, that's not the way negotiations go. So Lamar Jackson personally goes into a room or has a conversation with somebody over the phone and says, this is what I think I'm worth, and has to look or hear from his boss how he's not worth that. Now, timeline is he plays the season. He's good. He's effective. He's Lamar Jackson for the most part. They don't have great weapons around him, but they're winning games. And then with a month to go in the season, he sprains his knee. PCL sprain. His knee is a pretty damn important part of his game. His mobility, his agility, his speed, pretty damn important. And he's definitely out. He's not faking the injury, but he's out. Now comes cold weather, tough defenses, late in the season, and he's not 100%. If he had a guaranteed contract, does he feel better about going out there at 80%? Probably, because he knows he's getting paid next year no matter what. He knows that his money is already sewn up. But is he ready to go out there and risk a knee on 80% before he got that deal? Because if he re-sprains it, plays poorly, damages it permanently, suddenly all the dreams of the guaranteed money that he wanted don't come to fruition. And he's supposed to put on a helmet and put on shoulder pads and put his body in the middle of car wrecks for bosses that told him what he wasn't worth. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson's quitting on the Ravens. What I'm saying is you become extra safe under those circumstances. You don't come back unless you feel 100%, that you don't run a risk of getting injured. Now, do you run a risk every single game, whether you're 100% or not? Of course. But are you going to go out there in a compromised knee for the guys that told you what you're not worth? I don't think so. I said this yesterday. I'll say it again. I think waiting for Lamar Jackson to play this season is never going to happen. Whether they win this game or not, whether they go to the Super Bowl or not. Unless he's 100% and he's confident, he's not coming back to play. And I think pretty obviously, if he felt 100%, he would have made that known early in the week. He would have practiced this week. And by yesterday, it was Lamar Jackson's full go for this weekend. The fact that he's not means he's not playing this weekend. And I don't think he's playing the rest of the postseason. And frankly, I don't think that the Ravens can win this football game without him. But we'll see. I give him a fighting chance just because it's a division game. They're well coached, etc. But it's too it's overly simplistic to say he's not playing because he doesn't want to play over his contract. It's more nuanced than that. But it's the reality. He's just not going to go out there and risk anything with a knee that's not 100% because he never got that deal.